Hi my dear students, welcome back to Gurudeva online class. Myself Siddesh, 7th social science teacher. Dear student, in the last class we had discussed about the Bahmani dynasty. Who was the founder of Bahmani dynasty? When Bahmani dynasty was established? Where it was established? What was the capital city of Bahmani dynasty? And who are the great and important kings of Bahmani dynasties like Firaj Shah and Muhammad Gawan. As you know that after the Muhammad Gawan who assigned the throne, those were a weak ruler. So later the Bahmani dynasty, it was divided into the 5 important parts. Those are the first one Adil Shah of Vijayapura, Barid Shah of Bidar, Qutub Shah of Golconda, Nizam Shah of Ahmednagar, Imad Shah of Berar. So these are the 5 important Shah dynasty. So today class we are going to discuss who are the founder of these dynasty, who are the important kings of these dynasty, and what were the contributions of this dynasty. So let us discuss one by one. In that first one, Adil Shah of Vijayapura. The Adil Shah of Vijayapura, it was one of the a very important dynasty who ruled the Bahmani dynasty. The Adil Shah of Vijayapura, it was ruled by the many important kings. Those were Yusuf Adil Khan, Ismail Adil Khan, Ibrahim Adil Khan, Ali Adil Shah first, Ibrahim Adil Shah second, Muhammad Adil Shah, Ali Adil Shah second, Sikandar Ali Shah. So these were the a very important kings who ruled the Adil Shah of Vijayapura dynasty. And who was the founder of this dynasty? Yusuf Adil Khan. He was the founder of Adil Shah of Vijayapura dynasty. So let us discuss about Yusuf Adil Khan. As you know that Yusuf Adil Khan, he was the founder of Adil Shah of Vijayapura dynasty. And he was a good administrator and also tolerant towards other religions. He encouraged all religions, Hindu, Muslims, Christians, and also he sheltered many Hindu poets also. And during his period, he captured the few important places. Those were the first one Miraj, Solapura, Goa, Gulbarga, and Kalyana. So these are the very important places captured by the Yusuf Adil Khan. And Yusuf Adil Khan, he was not a longest ruler of Adil Shah of Vijayapura dynasty. So after the Yusuf Adil Khan, the one of the very important king ruled the Adil Shah of Vijayapura dynasty is named Ibrahim Adil Shah II. The Ibrahim Adil Shah II, he ruled from 1580 to 1626. And also the Ibrahim Adil Shah, he was the one of the very important great king in Adil Shah of Vijayapura dynasty. And during his period, the Ibrahim Adil Shah, he did many achievements. For that he had a title, that Jagat Guru Badshah. Ibrahim Adil Shah II, he had a title that Jagat Guru Badshah. So let us discuss why Ibrahim Adil Shah II, he got a title that Jagat Guru Badshah. Because of he was tolerant of others' religion. He encouraged all religion. And also the many Hindu poets, philosophers and musicians adorned in his palace. Ibrahim Adil Shah second palace. And also he renovated Datta temple in his fort and he encouraged the puja rituals. So it indicate he encouraged the Hindu religion. And also he worked harmony of Hindu and Muslims. He tried to bring harmony between the Hindu and Muslims. So this is also indicate he encouraged the Muslim religion also. And also he wrote a book called Kitab-i-Navarasa, which was related to music. And one of the very important point in that book, this book, it begins with the worshipping of Hindu gods like Ganapati, Saraswati and Bhairava. And is one more important achievement that he built Ibrahim Roja. So this was the achievements of the Ibrahim Adil Shah II. Yes, let us discuss the next dynasty who ruled the Bahmani dynasty, that Barid Shahs of Bidar. It was ruled from 1489 to 1619 CE and it ruled Deccan's Bidar. Then who was the founder of this dynasty? Qasim Barid. He was the founder of this dynasty. And Qasim Barid, he was also not a longest ruler of this dynasty. After the Qasim Barid, who assigned the throne, like Ibrahim and his brother Qasim, they were incompetent kings. Because of their inner conflict, this dynasty, it was declined. The Ibrahim Adil Shah of Vijayapura dynasty, it declared the war on Barid Shah of Bidar and he captured the Bidar. Finally, the Bidar, it was merged into the Vijayapura state. So this was about the Barid Shah of Bidar dynasty. And next, one more important dynasty, that Qutub Shah of Golconda. The Qutub Shah of Golconda, it was ruled from 1512 to 1687. Who was the founder of this dynasty? The founder, Qali Qutub Shah. He was the founder of Qutub Shah of Golconda dynasty. And Qali Qutub Shah, he was also not a longest ruler of this dynasty, but also he was a good administrator. But the thing is, the Qali Qutub Shah in the 1543 CE, he was killed by his own son. So after the Qali Qutub Shah, the one of the very important kings who ruled the Qutub Shah of Golconda dynasty is named Ibrahim. The Ibrahim, he was one of a great king of this dynasty and he had compassion for Hindu religion. He encouraged the Hindu religion and also he tolerant to the all religions, Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Christians also. And also there were many Hindu officers we can see in his administration. So it indicates he encouraged the Hindu religion also. And during his ruling, he made Golconda a beautiful city. And is one more important achievement, that he changed his capital from Golconda to Hyderabad for the administrative purpose. And after the Ibrahim, who assigned the throne, Abdul Qutub Shah and Abdul Hassan, they were incompetent rulers. They were weak rulers. So that this dynasty defeated by the Mughal kings. So this was about the one of the very important dynasty who ruled the Bahmani dynasty, that Qutub Shah of Golconda. Yes, the fourth, one of the very important dynasty who ruled the Bahmani Sultan, that Nizam Shah of Ahmednagar. The Nizam Shah of Ahmednagar, it was ruled from 1490 to 1636 CE. The founder of this dynasty, Malik Ahmad. The when Malik Ahmad assigned the throne is one of the very important achievement that he defeated the Daulat Bal. After the death of Malik Ahmad, who assigned the throne, those were only for namesake. Those were not a longest and greatest ruler of this dynasty, like Burhan, Hussain Nizam Shah and Murtaz. So after these rulers, the one of the very important queen, Chand Bibi, she was one of the very important queen in the Nizam Shah of Ahmednagar dynasty. After the death of Chand Bibi, this Ahmednagar dynasty was declared and it was defeated by the Mughal king, his name Shah Jahan, during the period of 1637 CE. It was about Nizam Shah of Ahmednagar dynasty. The one more important dynasty and the last dynasty of Bahmani Sultan, that Imad Shah of Berar. The Imad Shah of Berar, it was ruled from 1490 to 1580 CE. Then who was the founder of this dynasty? Fatullah, he was the founder of this dynasty. Where it was situated? It was situated between the Pen Ganga and Vini Ganga rivers at Varda, Tapati to north of Bidar. And Ilchapura was his capital city. And he had a title that Imad ul Mulk. It was the title of Fatullah. And after the death of Fatullah, his son Alauddin Imad Shah, he was ruled the Imad Shah of Berar, but he was also not a longest ruler in his dynasty. After the death of Alauddin Imad Shah, his son Darya Imad Shah, he ruled the Berar states. During his period, is a neighboring state. They were always trying to capture the Berar dynasty. And after the death of Darya Imad Shah, it was ruled by the Burhan Imad Shah. During his period, Burhan Imad Shah, during his period, so this dynasty, it was captured by the Tufail Khan. Captured by the Tufail Khan. But after the next days, again this dynasty, it was captured by the one of the very important dynasty, that Adil Shah of Vijayapur. The finally this state, it was merged into the Adil Shah of Vijayapuran dynasty. So these were the five important dynasty who ruled the Bahmani Sultans. Yes, the last point from this lesson, that the contribution of Adil Shah Vijayapura. The overall Bahmani dynasty, we are going to divide into two important parts. The first one, beginning Sultan, the next one, later Sultan. So we already discussed the first part, beginning Sultan, what they gave contribution to the different field. The later Sultan, it means when the Bahmani dynasty, it was divided into five important parts, that we consider as the second part or later Sultan of Bahmani dynasty. Among those, the first one, Adil Shah of Vijayapura, it was one of the very important dynasty who ruled the Bahmani dynasty. So let us discuss what they gave contributions to the different field. They have given more contributions to the different field, like education, literature, music, art and horticulture, and sculpture also. So let us discuss one by one. In that first one, education. The Adil Shah of Vijayapura or Bijapur, they gave the more contributions to the education. They loved more education and also they encouraged the education. The main policy was to develop the Islamic culture. It was one of the a very important intention of the Adil Shah of Vijayapura or Bijapura. Then what were the educational centers during the period of Adil Shah of Bijapur? There were two important education center. The first one Maktab and the second one Madarasa. The Maktab, here the students are going to get the primary and secondary education. Maktab nothing but mosques. The next one college education, the student get the in Madarasa. These were the two important educational center during the period of Adil Shah. And what were the subject taught by these educational centers? Those were the first one philosophy, religion, law and poetry. These were the four important subjects taught by the educational center. Those were Maktab and Madarasa. And also the educational centers, these were under the king patronage. It means the kings, they encouraged the educational centers. And here also the students, they get the free education and hostel facilities also, even the scholarship also. This was the contributions of the Adil Shah of Vijayapur. So let us discuss the second one, literature. The second part, literature. The Adil Shah of Vijayapur, they gave the more contribution to the field of literature also. During the Adil Shah period, the literature became rich in their period. There were many books written by the different poets. And also the few important languages like Persian, Arabic, Urdu and Kannada languages. So these were the very important languages we can see during the period of Adil Shah dynasty. And also the many books written by the different languages. So what I said now, Persian language, Arabic language, Urdu and Kannada language also. The Persian, it was the main administrative language of the Adil Shah of Bijapur. So let us discuss which are the very important books written by the different poets. The first one, Peresta, Persian. He has written two important books. Those are the first one, Tariq-e-Feresta. The second one, Gulshan-e-Ibrahim. These were the two important books written by the Peresta from Persia. The second one, Abdul, Urdu. He has written one of the very important book, that Ibrahim Nama. And Mullah Nasrati, he has written Ali Nama. And the Kannada, one of the very important poet is named Narahari of Toravi. He has written Toravi Ramayana. So these were the very important poets who adorned in the Adil Shah of Vijayapur. So this was the one of the very important literature contribution given by the Adil Shah of Vijayapur. The next one of the very important point, that music. For the music also they have given a more contribution. There were two important musicians. Those were the first one, Yusuf Adil Shah and Ibrahim Adil Shah. These were the very two important musicians we can see during the period of Adil Shah. And also the Ibrahim Adil Shah, he has written one of the very important books which was related by the music, that Kitab-e-Navarasa. This was one of the very important music book. And he opened a music schools during the period of Adil Shah of Vijayapur. And also here, even the women, they were also very interested to learn the music, and the rich family also, they were very interested to learn the music. So this was the one of the very important music contribution given by the Adil Shah of Vijayapura. Yes, let us see the one more very important contribution which was given by the Bahmani Sultan, that fine art. They gave the more contribution in the field of fine art. The Ibrahim Adil Shah II himself, he was one of the a great artist. And also, if you see the walls of their houses and mosques and floors, they painted a many different types of pictures like rivers, flowers, plants, war scene, nature scene, and some traditions picture painted on their walls of house and mosques and floors also. So by the seeing of this, we come to know the people aspirations, their interest and traditions. So this was one of the very important contribution which was given by the Bahmani Sultan. The one more a very important contribution which was given by the Bahmani Sultan, that art and sculpture. They gave the more contribution in the field of art and sculpture. There were many monuments established by the Bahmani Sultans, and those monuments, it has Indo-Islamic style. The Indo-Islamic style in the sense, the monuments, it has a two type of architecture style. The first one Indian style and the second one Islam style. So that we can call as the Indo-Islamic style. And during the period of Bahmani Sultan, there were many forts and palaces and mosques also established. So let us discuss one by one. In that first one, fort. The one of the very important fort, that Vijayapura fort. The Vijayapura fort, it was one of the very biggest fort. It has 96 basins located on fort, and also it has 6 main entrance. So this was about the Vijayapura fort. And also there were many palaces also established during the period of Bahmani Sultan. So let us discuss the few important palaces which was established by the Bahmani Sultan. The first one, Gagan Mahal. The Gagan Mahal, it was established by the Ibrahim Adil Shah II in the year 1620 CE. And this Gagan Mahal, it has 3 towers. So it was importance of Gagan Mahal. And the next palaces, that Mehtar Mahal. The Mehtar Mahal, it was also established by the Ibrahim Adil Shah II, and it is also a 3-story palace, and it is famous for its fine and delicate decorations. So this Mehtar Mahal, it has a different types of pictures on their walls. So this was about the Mehtar Mahal. And the next one, Asar Mahal. So this was also one of the a very important palace established by the Bahmani Sultan. So this Asar Mahal also, it has a different types of painting on their walls. So these are the 3 important palaces established during the period of Bahmani Sultans. Yes, during the period of Bahmani Sultan, there were many mosques also established. So let us discuss the few important mosques. In the first one, Jama Masjid. The Jama Masjid, it was established by the Ali Adil Shah, and it is famous for its a very wide prayer hall. So here nearly 300 people sit together and they were going to do the prayer. And it is a common building without any decoration. If you see some palace like Gagan Mahal and Mehtar Mahal, so there it has a few important pictures on their walls. But here we cannot see such a type of any pictures. So this is about the Jama Masjid. And the next one more important mosque, that Ibrahim Roja. The Ibrahim Roja, it was established by the Ibrahim Adil Shah II. So why Ibrahim Adil Shah II built Ibrahim Roja? Because of the memory of his wife. And it is located at Bijapur. It has the tombs of Ibrahim and his relatives also. And Ibrahim Roja, it is only Roja in India. So why we can called Roja in India because of the mosques and the tombs are built on the elevated platform with a garden around them and the compound wall around it. And also in front of Ibrahim Roja, it has a beautiful garden. For this Ibrahim Roja we can call the only Roja in India. And also it is called as Taj Mahal of South India. So it is about the Ibrahim Roja. And next, the one more important mosque is that Gol Gumbaz. The Gol Gumbaz, it was established by the Muhammad in the year 1656 at Bijapur. So when Ibrahim Adil Shah II built Ibrahim Roja, the Muhammad Gawan, he was decided to build something even larger and bigger of Ibrahim Roja. So then he built the Gol Gumbaz, and it has a big dome with a whispering chamber inside, and it is a fine example for technology of that time. So by the seeing of this, we come to know the technology also developed. If you see inside, if you call one time, we get the 7 times echo. So this is a wonder of the Gol Gumbaz, and also it is the 4th largest dome in the world and the 1st largest dome in the India. So this is the importance of Gol Gumbaz. So during the period of Bahmani Sultan, the other important monuments also established. The few important monuments are the first one, Bara Kaman, Bade Kaman, Anand Mahal, Upli Burj, Chand Baudi and Taj Baudi. So these were the a few important monuments established during the period of Bahmani Sultans. So this was about the cultural contributions of Bahmani Sultan. Friends, once again recapitulations of whole lesson. In this lesson, we learnt when the Bahmani dynasty was established, who was the founder of Bahmani dynasty, where it was established, what was the capital city of Bahmani Sultan, which were the 5 important dynasty who ruled the Bahmani Sultan, and what were the cultural contributions of Bahmani Sultans. We will meet the next lesson. Thank you for watching the videos. Bye my dear students.